We had a little toasty week. It was hot, especially last Tuesday. I remember it was 96 degrees, and I was working in Dora for 7 hours outside. Thankful for my brother's wife, my friend brother from church, Radu Slavic. She kept us on a tow. She brings big jug water. You know, us men, we forgot about to drink. And I don't think about it until you start to being dizzy. But it was hot, and looks like next week is too. You know what's strange today for me? That I'm up here and Jim is sitting out there. Usually I like the other way around. Jim up here and I'm over there. But I guess Jim needs a break too. And today I'm going to be talking about selfishness. If you see in your bulletin, when your heart is stubborn. Stubborn? Are we men stubborn? Now, you guys, I'm going to be talking about being stubborn myself. What happened several years ago. And then the other night, I went to Google up to see stubborn people in Bible. Oh boy, did I found a list. I mean, that's a list. Stubbornness, selfishness. So I pick out today verse Jonah 1, Jim read it, verse 4 and 5. And we all know about Jonah. I don't know if he was stubborn or selfish or what, but he tried to run away from God. Can we hide from God? I don't think so. He went down in a lower part of the boat. He think he's going to be hiding himself. When captain came round, what did he saw him? Sleeping. And boat was about ready to break up. So what they do, they throw out cargo so the boat would be a little bit lighter, so they don't perish. Until they found out, they were very scared. People were scared on the boat. And I remember one time coming from Muskegon, Michigan with my boat, my wife and I. There was Sunday noon, and I was told not to go at noon because we had waves 8 to 10 foot high. I said, nah, my boat can handle that. That's not a problem. So reason I left noon because I wanted to go to some birthday party, big deal. But I said, I'm going. My wife goes with me, I guess. She go along with it. So I went half a mile into a Lake Michigan. Oh boy, I didn't tell my wife. I was scared. When the big wave came towards us, they lift the front end so high, and when they dropped down, you're talking about screaming wife. Very screaming wife. Turn that thing around and let's get back. And luckily, when you turn around, you really don't want to be sideways on a wave. So I was watching, the second wave was a lot smaller, so I quit my boat very quickly. And I figured a 45 foot it's going to handle. No, it was scary. So I turned around, went back to pier, and wait till 5 o'clock afternoon. It was nice and calm. And I could see how people were scared in that boat where Jonah was. So I don't know if he was stubborn or what it was, but it wasn't pleasant to be there because he wanted to hide from God. And there's no way that we can hide from God. Proverbs, if we read chapter 28, verse 14. Happy is the man who is always reverent, but he who hardens his heart will fall into calamity. I don't know if that fits with my sermon, but I could see stubbornness. We know about Israelites. In some way, they were stubborn, selfish maybe. They didn't listen God when God says, go there or do that. When Moses went up to meet with God, they didn't have no patience. They wanted to make their own God. But anyway, I am looking at that clock and it's going so fast. I wanted to tell my story that we might learn something from it. I did learn. I don't know how much I learned, but sometimes I get a little stubborn, you know. My wife can tell you that. When I was working with Pastor Kenneth Cox, it was time for us to go Ventura, California. Have you ever been in Ventura, California? You did. It's a beautiful little place. So Ken says, Denny, prepare, get ready. 1 week before evangelistic meeting starts, we should be there because we got things to do, put things together, what we're going to say, and things like that. So I had a motorhome, and usually we go with the motorhome. Before motorhome, I was going to hotels, luggage in the bag, and I was okay until I got the motorhome. Comfort. You have everything. You have food, you have my refrigerator, you fill up everything, my clothes, my wife prepares my suits, my ties, my shirt, everything is nice and hanging. And people that have motorhome, they know what I'm talking about. So when time came, that was in November, I took my motorhome to Indiana, to Monaco, to have some service done, and there was some warranty. And something happened, I don't know what they did, but one of the heating breaker was off. So in a motorhome, you have 3 heats: engine heat, electric heat, and fuel heat. But I did not have experience. I did not mention or any problem that I would think. When I parked in, it was December, middle of December. So I was going to celebrate New Year's Eve with my family, and right after New Year, I'm going to take off to California, Ventura. And my friend Chuck, he says, Denny, we have a wonderful place I've reserved for you. We're going to be in Ventura, right facing ocean. Oh boy, that did it for me. Ocean, I love ocean, especially facing the ocean with a motorhome. Like I was never before. I was in Destin, Florida. That's an ocean place. But devil got hold of me really good. Stubborn as you can be. Selfish as any man can be. So when he says we're going to park and we're going to walk every morning, usually Kenneth Cox gets up 6 o'clock, you got to be on a roll. You got to follow him and we go for a walk, exercise. When he said that to me, we're going to be parked on the ocean, that's all. That's all it was on my mind. It was nothing about ministry. It was nothing about how many people going to hear God's word. The devil really changed my mind. I did not think about that. So December 15, I parked my vehicle in a big garage, motorhome. So I put electric heat. I said, 15 days just to keep, warm enough. I don't want to winterize it. It's only a short time. I set it on 50 degrees, so I should be fine. Did not know the breaker was off. So as I was coming home, it started snowing like crazy. Snow, snow, and snow. By the time I got home, 2 hours where I parked my vehicle, I had about a foot snow. And then it got so cold, below zero. And I was okay with that. My wife says, I don't know if you can go with the motorhome. It's kind of, I'm looking the weather, it's kind of stormy, and it keeps coming from Colorado, storm after storm. I said, nah, that's okay. I'm going with motorhome. I don't care any storm. I said, I'm sure a couple of days, 2-3 days, the storm will stop, and I can slide right through there. My wife said, yeah, you're going to slide right into a ditch. I said, no. I did not think about anything else. But God had plans for me. But I was stubborn. I did not listen to the weather, didn't listen to wife. Even Ken called me and he says, Denny, it's very stormy. I think you should fly in. No, I said, I'll be driving. I'm coming right after New Year's Eve. I said, and I think, but end of January, it starts ministry, evangelistic meetings, so I have plenty of time. So before New Year, I went to check on my motorhome. When I got in, and it was like below zero, when I got into motorhome, it was colder than outside. When I look at my faucets, icicles. My manifold looks like a Christmas tree. And you know what's a manifold, where water goes different direction, different faucets, It looks like a Christmas tree. That didn't stop me. I immediately ordered new manifold, and I said, I'll fix it when I'm on the way down to Texas, When it's nice and warm day, I'll fix that. I got the new faucet. I just want to make sure the toilet's working, my shower's working. I'm going to do it. I didn't. God says you cannot go. The weather's telling me. I had Weather Channel. Every room I had TV, there was nothing but Weather Channel. My wife says, you cannot go. I say, yes, I can. I will go. That's how stubborn I am. I was. Let's put that way. So if anybody would change the channel on my TV, I said, hey, you don't change that. I was glued to this television. If I'm downstairs, I'm watching just to see. And then I'm looking the news. I said, all I need, 55, 44, to get to Oklahoma. I'm on a horse. I'm fine. I'll get through there. And then I'm watching the news. I watched in I-44 in Missouri, 3 cars were on top of each other. And my wife said, and you think you're going to drive that rig? I said, well, if it's only 3 days, storm stops, I'll get through. She goes, I don't think so. So she started screaming, I said, I am buying ticket, you're going to fly. I said, no, I'm not. So I wait another day. So we had New Year's Eve, nothing. The storm will not stop. And usually that doesn't happen like that. It does not happen. Usually you get some break and you can go through, but not this time. So right after New Year, my wife said, I am buying you a ticket. I said, okay, if you buy a ticket, buy it to, she was handling my flights all the time. I said, you get it to Sacramento because we had a house there. I said, I'm going to spend some time there and then I'll drive down on Highway 5. So that's what happened. I had no choice but fly. I was so sad. I wasn't thinking about ministry. The devil really got hold of me because I wanted to enjoy an ocean. I was thinking about just being there, how nice it is. I love ocean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure you do too. But that was the wrong thing to think about, only that. But God had planned something else out there, but I didn't know. But if I listened, the weather and everybody else, I should be just calm and fly there. So I flew to Sacramento. And then when I was driving down there, I called Chuck. I said, Chuck, you got to get me a hotel. He goes, yes, I will. I already found one. He did not tell me where and what kind of hotel. When I got there, he goes, I'll wait for you just before Ventura. He said, then you'll follow me. And I got there, and he's driving and pulling in a called Travel Lodge. I said, Travel Lodge? I said, I never stay in Travel Lodge. I said, why would I want to be? I said, Chuck, where's the Holiday Inn? Where is that? Where is that? He goes, Denny, every hotel is booked. I said, not possible. No way. He goes, Denny, every hotel is booked. This is the only one that's available right there. And downstairs, when I drove it behind, I see some piled up things. I said, Chuck, you think I'm gonna stay here? I said, I might get mugged here, you know. I don't know. But he said, that's all that's available. I said, no way. I said, I'll find it. So we did booked for a few days. And after we booked, I went to check. So many of them. Everything is booked. And I said, what's going on in this town? Every hotel is booked. And the lady says, well, there's convention going on for next 3 weeks. Some flour and fruit. And I say, you telling me all the hotels are booked? She goes, pretty much. She goes, let me check one for you. She checked. It was right on the ocean. It was Holiday Inn. And she said, there's one room available. I said, oh boy, I flew there. I went there. I got there quick. I said, so-and-so called. You got one room available. She goes, yes, but it's a smoking room. I said, I cannot be there. I can't be in a smoking room. I get a headache immediately. But let's go check. She goes, we can clean up for you. Well, let me go inside and check. So we went inside. As I walked in, I turned around and walked right out. There's no way I could sleep there where it was smoking. I said, well, dear God, so I started talking to God. I said, you don't want me to work for you. What's going on? Now I'm starting talking to God, but not before. So I went back to Travel Lodge. I started smelling like a doggy. Smelling around, smelled pretty good, not bad. They got a little refrigerator, they got microwave. It's a large room, a little smaller shower, but you know, it was okay. I said, I guess if God wants me to be there, I don't know the reason. I guess I have to stay there. So The very next day, I went to shopping to buy some little food, to get some things to fill up my fridge, of course. I left my door open. It's a January, beautiful day. Left the door open. And as I turned my back on the door, and I was loading up the refrigerator, and somebody knocking on the door and walking right in. It was a guy. He goes, "Hi, I'm Arnold." "Okay, hi, I'm Denny." He says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "What a question." He asked me, "What am I doing here?" I said, "Well, I am here with Pastor Kenneth Cox, evangelistic meetings." I said, "What are you doing here in my room?" He goes, "Well, I saw you coming in and I just wanted to get to know you." I said, he goes, "I live right here for right now, room next to yours." Oh boy, I was not pleased. He left, we got to introduce each other, so he left. When meeting starts, I start talking to this guy. I say, "Arnold." So he was asking me first, what kind of meetings, what kind of religion? And I, you have to tell him. It's a God's religion, Seventh-day Adventist. We believe Bible and we follow Bible, 10 Commandments, and we have meetings and trying to tell many others. I say, "Would you like to come with me for meetings? I will take you and I will bring you back." Oh no, I said, no. I've been to so many churches and religious. He said, "I like none of them." I said, "Not even?" I said, "Have you been to Seventh-day Adventist church?" He go, "What's that?" I say, "It's a church. It's a Seventh-day Adventist church." I say, "If you go in your phone book, you'll find it. Go on the internet, you'll find it." He goes, "No." He says, I'm done with churches. Don't like none of them." Okay, so that was fine. I went to meetings first day. Came home. You sleep over, then you have a day for yourself. Still I had to sort my clothes and things. Here's a knocking on the door again. It's Arnold. He said, "Well, I just wanted to say hi." And I'm thinking, oh God, I hope he doesn't bother me too much. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he wants, Doesn't want the religion. So we were talking, and I say, "Arnold, would you come to a meeting with me tonight?" "Nope." "No, sir." I said, "So what are you doing here?" He goes, "Well, I sold my house, and I'm just trying to find the place where to go. I don't know where to go." I said, "Okay, why don't you come to a meeting with me? Let's hear what Pastor Kenneth Cox has to say." No, he refused it. So I asked him 3 times. He refused. 3 times he wouldn't come to meetings. So the 4th time, that was Friday evening, Friday afternoon. Meeting starts at 7 o'clock, just like here. 7 o'clock every day, 5 days a week. As I was getting in my vehicle, Arnold is running towards me. And he said, "Denny, will you wait for me?" I want to get ready. I said, "Of course, I'm going to wait." So I waited about 30 minutes. I was late for prayer. with Pastor Cox and team, we pray 30 minutes before meetings. So I had to wait, and they were wondering what happened to me. I didn't show up. I'm not at the meetings for prayer. I waited for Arnold to get ready. Arnold got dressed up. He took a shower. He went in a car with me. And so when we got to the church, I said, Arnold, I am sitting on the right-hand side, on the front. I said, would you like to sit next to me? He goes, no, I want to sit alone. So he found a place right in the middle, like Wayne is sitting, in the middle of the church, and I keep my eye on him. He was staring and looking and looking. Then when Ken was talking, when he was preaching, I don't think that he blinked. I said, wow. So when meeting was over, I want to go home. No, Arnold, he wanted to see everything. He wanted to walk around, he looked in church, he wanted to look different. I said, Arnold, it's time to go home. We come back tomorrow. Will you come back tomorrow? Of course I'm coming back tomorrow. So we come back tomorrow, and following day, and another day. Arnold, I forgot his last name, Gibson, Arnold Gibson. I left early that time, that meeting, 1 week early, because I had something happen in Sacramento. I had to go there. So I was calling and asking Chuck, I say, is Arnold coming to church, to meetings? He goes, Denny, he's every night 30 minutes before we start. 30 minutes before, he's sitting in a pew in the middle of the church. The pew were just like this, 3 rows. And it's beautiful church, Little Ventura. I don't know if you've been there. And he was there every single day. So when last week came, and you know how pastors give a cards to sign, will you get baptized? Do you accept Christ? Well, he did. And at the end of the meetings, Arnold was first one to be baptized. And I was so stubborn. I wanted to go with motorhome, luxury. And there's a man out there waiting for me. And I said, Lord, why me? From Chicago, one little guy, why me? All those people in Ventura, couldn't they see him? But God says, you are the one who's going to be coming to that place. I did not know. Did not know, and did not listen the nature, did not listen God, did not listen nobody. I just wanted to have comfort. I hope that we learned something from that. I know I did. I never argue with God again. If I had to go fly, I'm going to fly. If I can go with motorhome, that's fine. If I have to take a bicycle, I'll do with the bicycle. I don't know. But that's how it happened. When man is stubborn and selfish and looking for my own interest, did not look for anything else, looking for my own interest, for my comfort, how I'm going to have, I don't have to go walking too far. Everything is there. I'll be parked on a beach, in a place where it's facing the ocean. And I did go walk with them every single day. I just had to get up a little bit early and went out there, and I loved it. I love those people that surf, watch them. I enjoyed that. And then you have to think about, what did I do? How can I be so stubborn? The motorhome got frozen. Everything was horrible. I was going to fix it on the way down there. I said, if not, when I get there, I'll fix it. I did not know what's waiting for me. God wanted me to be there because someone was there to be baptized. After he got baptized, we were in touch. So I talked to Ken. I said, how's Arnold doing? He says, Denny, he's elder in church. He's leading. He's working. I said, wow. He was out there every Sabbath. He became elder. He accepted Christ. I did not know that. I guess sometimes we don't know, we don't listen to God, what He tried to tell us because of our stubbornness. If we listen just once in a while, what God has for us. There are so many people out there that need to know. Yesterday, I was visiting one of my neighbor, not far, and it's Dragon's neighbor too. His name is Paul Summers. That's James Summers' son. So I was by him hauling some things from him. And it was pretty hot day too yesterday. And I was telling him that I have a gout on my knee. He goes, do you drink lots of beers? I said, no, sir, I don't drink no alcohol. He said, beer, it's bad for you. I said, well, I don't know. I don't drink beer. I don't drink alcohol. But I know I got to change my diet. No dairy, no eggs. When my wife was telling me what not to eat, I said, what am I going to eat? Well, she says, greens. I don't know if I'll survive on that, but I have to try it. Greens. And I have to try it, so get my gout. And it's getting better, I believe so. So he says to me, Denny, I noticed something is different. I see something different in you. And I like to hear that. I say, yeah, what is it? He said, can you tell me, if you don't mind, what religion you are? He says, do you believe in Jesus Christ? I say, yes, I do. I said, I'm going to tell you my religion, but I want you to figure it out. So I got my phone real quick. I opened 4 commandments. I said, read. Tell me if you can figure out what church do I go. So he read 8, 9, and 10 verses, which is 4 commandments about the Sabbath. He goes, oh, you are a Seventh-day Adventist. I said, yeah. He goes, I have a cousin that's Seventh-day Adventist. I said, really? I said, are they talking to you about it? He goes, not really, because he's Baptist and he is really religious man. He believes in the Lord. He believes that He's coming. He believes prophecy is being fulfilled. I said, that's a good thing. So I'm going to see him next Thursday again. I got a lot of talking to him. I got to give him a book, Great Controversy. I didn't have it with me in my truck. It was my last trip. So, and I said, how about your wife? Oh, she's a religious lady. You know, I am so happy. My kids, my wife, we all go to church every Sunday. So I need you guys to pray for me and Paul Summers. Whenever you can think about it. I'm going to meet with him next Thursday, sometime in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to talk about I spent 45 minutes sitting on his porch and talking about the religion, talking about what's going on in the world. And he believes everything. What amazes me, he believes mark of the beast. He says, I will not accept mark of the beast. Obviously, he doesn't know what's mark of the beast. So I got a lot of things to explain to him. But I noticed one thing. He is so religious that he won't, budge. So I have to be very careful what I said. I don't want him to get upset or anything, so I got to be careful. But I stirred up his mind. I said, first he told me, he said, well, that's for Jews, the 4 commandments. I said, well, how about 5th commandments? How about first 3 commandments? Oh, yeah, we believe that. I said, well, God didn't change any commandments. I said, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, it's very special. It's between God and man. He started thinking about it. So I got things to work. And my friend Dragon, he says one time to us, what are we here for? What's the purpose for us to being here? We came from Chicago. Well, we got a lot of things to do around here. We got to work. We might not be able to work every day, but whenever you find someone, we have to tell them that Jesus is coming soon. And they can see what's happening in the world. And he knows what Pope is doing. So, wherever you go out there, tell about Jesus, about 4th commandment. And God will bless each and every one of us. Amen.